Program Coordinator, Education Associate Dean, Dr. Karen A. Manaig. Thank you once again to our second speaker.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so I think we're now completely ready for our third topic and third speaker for this morning session. So let me just introduce him. He have 26 years rewarding and special experience in teaching within the well-reputed institutes of Bahawalpur, a linguist by profession and ESL IELTS trainer, served in the field of education in various capacities, a certified IELTS trainer of British Council of Pakistan, authored 4 English grammar books and presented 90 research papers in 17 national and international conferences, including Istanbul, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, Malaysia, Sri Lanka, Dubai, Japan, Jordan, UK, Philippines, and India. Conducted and attended many ELT workshops and seminars within Pakistan, regional coordinator for TEFL program and have supervised 82 MA TEFL thesis, coursian and have completed 9 certificate courses with distinction, have been awarded honorary doctorate in ELT by an American university due to his remarkable services in the field of ELT, all the way from Pakistan, Mr. Muhammad Safdar Bati, to discuss the studying of role of Pak literature and language teaching at intermediate level as survey. Sir? Dr. Muhammad.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for a very nice introduction. Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to everyone. First of all, I would like to thank the whole team for providing this chance to interact with such a nice audience as a keynote speaker. And the topic of my talk is studying the role of Pakistani literature on language teaching at intermediate level, a survey. And that is the brief outline of my talk. Respected audience, education, the prime ingredient of human resource development, is the basic requirement for the economic transformation and advancement of a country. In the changing global scenario, the study of English plays a vital role in education, and it is accepted that everyday English has a far-reaching effects on all areas of everyday life. It has thus become an important vehicle for technical collaboration, industrial development, and the formation of international relationships. English is used as a lingua franca for global communication, and English as an international language has a worldwide presence. The speed of its spread is unprecedented. Literature is a source of news, and it gives rise to communication and brings two languages strongly. If we talk about the importance of a language, it comes next to food, that is God's special gift to mankind. It's the maker or breaker of human relationships. It makes the life bitter or sweet. It makes the different from animals. It makes social interaction possible. It is the basis of human progress. It is the flesh and blood of human culture, and it is a means of social control. The linguistic landscape of Pakistan is rich, and there are 69 living languages spoken across the country. Besides the linguistic diversification, English is perceived as a passport to better employment and upward social mobility in Pakistan. It is not only the language of various government organizations, but also used for administrative and bureaucratic procedures in high courts, the defense ministries, mass media, and education departments of the country. In a society characterized by acute class division and intense class consciousness, parents from the lower middle, or working strata of society aspire to enroll their children in the English medium schools. And teaching is not a skill, but an ever changing art. It needs a lot of training and practice, while culture is regarded as an external relation of the language. No doubt, language is to maintain and convey culture and cultural ties. Literature is a mirror held up to life. It reflects different aspects of life, compelling the reader to think critically. It also offers a deeper understanding of a country, as Pakistani culture is a rich culture having Islamic background. Its religious values affect every aspect of cultural life. So, in this study, I'll point out the ways to improve the quality of English language learning through Pakistani literature. Pakistani writers have represented the Pakistani culture in their works to give it an international touch. It is also being represented through poetry, novels, dramas, and short stories. Now, I would like to talk about the nature of literature. Traditionally, literature is defined as the best writing produced in a given language or society, and that is considered as a literary canon for all times. This normally includes classical writers belonging to the past and often excludes contemporary writing. However, in the postmodern deconstructionist age, the definition of literature took on a new shape to include text such as advertising, copy, graffiti, and public notices, which use literary devices like parallelism, rhyme, rhythm, and metaphor. A good education is one which gives a strong academic benefit, self confidence, a keen sense of responsibility, a polished attitude and behavior, and encouragement to think freely and challenges adversity. Most educators in Pakistan believe that literature can help to develop all these faculties in a student, in addition to developing their overall language competence. Literature in English language teaching and learning has significant place in various international contexts. English language is a growing medium of communication in social and academic lives of the people in the contemporary world. In response to the growing academic and global demands, language educators have, over the years, emphasized the importance of communicative competence in English. In recent years, interest in literature language education has redeveloped, and it has brought into focus the issues regarding language learning and teaching in ESL context. If we talk about the objectives of the study, they were to investigate the worth of literature based activities, to enhance the learner's competency in learning second language with ease, to examine the teacher's position and students' position as participants in ESL classes, to estimate whether intermediate level learners are given active roles by teachers or not, to examine whether teachers are trained or for holding literature based activities in the classroom for learning outcomes of the language. The significance of my study was that it has a great significance for the teachers of literature to enhance the teaching competency through activity based teaching of second language. It will also make the students' participation active and create the interest of the students. This study will make both teachers and students active to learn the target language. My research questions were: how literature is beneficial in ESL classroom, how does teacher proceed literature in ESL classroom, what methods are employed while using literature as a teaching tool, what type of literature and which genre are used by the teacher, how should the specific literary text be selected for ESL classroom. Now I would like to move towards the literature review. Holland referring especially the teaching of English as a second language in South Africa, agrees that the inclusion of literature on psychological and linguistic grounds. While Mark Ward argues that there is a justifiable and profitable place for literature in ESL, adding that the place and the purpose of literary component within the English curriculum will differ with the place and the purpose of teaching English. Povey is also an advocate, although he argues that literature should be taught for its own sake, with its use as a resource for language exercises and cultural knowledge are day product only. Cultural and social realities of a society shape language and its meaning in a given context. A second language learner is exposed to socio-economic realities of L2 through the literary text, which serve as a social document. Literary texts not only provide an insight into the idiosyncrasies of the real social world, but also serve as a dialogic exchange between the reader and the text, exposing reader to the knowledge and the understanding of the issues of the social world of the target language. Literary texts are authentic materials produced for the people. 100 students and 50 teachers from the Islamic University of Bahawalpur participated in this study. If we talk about the research methodology, it was descriptive in nature and the research approach was quantitative and stratified random sampling was done. Questionnaire for the teachers and questionnaire for the students were used as a tool to collect the data from the respondents. And that is the data analysis of teachers questionnaire, and that is their graphic description. And that is the data analysis students questionnaire. Learning word meaning, that was 82%, easy grammar 90%, understanding main theme, that was 87%, and learn rhyming words, that was 90%. And that is the graphic description. Now I would like to move towards the findings and the conclusions. The potential role of literature needed to explore in reading skills to assess whether it brings a positive change or not. It was noted that literature can be said as information, education, and entertainment combined in one package. Literature is very good source for teaching reading skills because it increases students' ability to understand language outside the classroom context. Its use motivates and encourages students to develop English reading proficiency. The experience and qualification of teachers had positive effect on students' learning. Activities were used to provide free and spontaneous practice of language with the help of literature. Now I would like to move towards suggestions and recommendations. A true English language teaching through Pakistani literature should be carried out to help the learners. Government should formulate proper education policy for introducing proper language teaching in the country. Teachers should present their lessons based on literature in an enjoyable, relaxed, and interesting way. It is necessary to introduce proper literary novels to make language learning meaningful and effective. Students should be encouraged and motivated to learn literature attentively and share it with their fellows. Teachers should incorporate literature based activities, divide students into groups, instruct each group to use the new words on the cards to perform different activities. The teachers should have grasp over their subject. They should be qualified and well trained. And these were some references from which I got some help. And thanks for your patience. And any question, please.
Again, we will go ahead and take some time for questions and comments.
Dr. Mohammed, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Doctor, I was just curious, what is the current situation of the Pakistani literature now that we are in this pandemic situation? So how does the teacher who's teaching literature adapt now in Pakistan because of the situation?
Very nice question, sir. Actually, I'm also working as an English teacher. So if we are going to teach them, definitely now all over the world, the teaching has moved towards the online teaching. So we are just going to devise some sort of the activities which are based on literature. Actually, students show their personal interest and real interest while we are teaching them the second, because they have in Pakistan the students have to learn English as a second language, right? So when we are going to make it easy with the help of Pakistani literature, which is from their society, it becomes very easy for them. So I would like to request everyone to use their own literature while teaching second language or English, definitely.
Very well said, Doctor. Thank you very much. And a follow-up question, Doctor. I was just really
Okay.
curious because I think this is the first time that we had a Pakistani educator sharing thoughts about the English language itself in his country.
Thank you.
What are the tools, Doctor, that you are mostly using when it comes to teaching? Do you prefer Zoom or any tools that you use most of the time that you are teaching?
Actually, sir, most of the time we are going to use the Zoom, and the tools which we are going to use to attract our students. These are some sort of the flashcards, right? Some AVAs, but with the help of this Zoom. Because when we are going to show them such sort of the things, the students, we are going to grasp their attention. They are going to be attractive, and they are going to be attentive. And they are not going to miss their lecture if the teacher is going to teach them with the help of this literature and with the help of some sort of some aviates. So they are showing their real interest.
So does it mean, Doctor, you are still applying traditional materials together with the new technologies? Am I right, Doctor?
Yes, to some extent, because Pakistan is a developing country, so we are not having such sort of up-to-date technologies over here. Sometimes we have to use, if the classes are the physical, we are going to use the multimedia in the class. We are going to use a sort of some different, I think, technologies. But mostly in the classrooms, the some traditional things are going to be used because you know the condition of the Pakistan very well.
And and Doctor, final question.
Yes.
Uh, was there a big difference before you are teaching traditionally and now that you are teaching in this new normal? Are there any changes that you have noticed? Have you saw any effective methods now that we are using technology, or is it much better before during the traditional teaching? I think, Doctor, you're on mute.
I think it is much better if we are going to use some latest technologies with the help of ICT. We are going to teach our students. They are much attracted because when in the physical classes, if we are going to use the traditional ways, they are some to a little bit bored. For getting their attention, we have to use the or get the help of the latest technologies.
Very well said. Thank you so much, Dr.
So nice.
Mohammed.
Thank you very
Hello,
much.
sir.
Thank you.
I have question.
Okay.
Hello,
Yes, ma'am.
hello, Sir Mohammed. But before I ask my question, can I give a shout out first to my school, Palo Alto Elementary School? I know there are many teachers and participants from Palo Alto Elementary School in Zoom and even on Facebook Live. So here's my question, sir. What is
Okay.
your simple but very effective strategy or strategies in teaching literature on language teaching at intermediate level? Can you please share it with us? Thank you, Sir Mohammed.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We can get any drama from literature, and we can ask our students to perform different roles, right? And we can also select some poem from the literature and ask our students to read them out. We can select any novel, and we can give them some different, I think, roles to perform those roles, and make, or you can see, to perform that drama or to perform their roles, to give a link or to give, I think, a live interaction. In this way, they are, the students especially, they show their interest, because when they see that we are now going to perform this sort of the particular role, then they are interested. When so they, on the daily basis, we have to change their roles. One day we have to teach them some novel, on the next day we have to teach them some drama, on the next day we have to teach them some short stories. So it depends on the teacher. Before me, there was a lady who was giving very good, I think, talk about the lesson planning. So it depends on the teacher, if he or she is going to plan his lesson well. So we, because language teaching itself is very boring and hectic, in my opinion. We have to make it very interesting. How? By putting, I think, a spirit in our lectures with the help of literature.
Yes, sir. Thank you. You're also applying those some strategies that you mentioned. Thank you, sir, for answering.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
We have another question here from our comment box. What teaching approaches or pedagogy do you use when you are teaching literature? How do you keep your students engaged? This question is from Miss Ramaline.
Actually, ma'am, direct method, that is the best approach. We have the, I think, if the students are going to be supposed to copy their teacher, definitely they are going to learn a lot. It depends on the teacher, but sort of the atmosphere he is going to provide to his students. If in the class they are supposed to speak in the target language, not in their mother tongue, definitely they are going to learn that language very easily. If the teacher is going to get the help of L1 or some sort of something else, then it becomes very difficult for the students to, I think, learn something new. Teachers should play as a role model. So with the help of direct method, so with the help of detective, or sometimes detective approach, sometimes inductive approach, language can be learned very easily, in my opinion.
Thank you, sir. I think Miss Alice Durgayan is raising his hand. Miss Alice. Miss Alice, you are raising your hand. Okay. So we have another question here from Sir Martin. What English site do you use for your activities?
And that is, I think, normally I use, and that is the Coursera. Coursera is the best platform to get some sort of the activities to be used in the classroom for my students. edX sometimes I also use.
Okay, thank you. Miss Alessa is raising her hand still. Oh, no, no, no. Okay. Is there any questions? We have questions from our FB Live. Sir, teaching reading is quite challenging. What can be the strategies to employ to make reading interesting?
I think normally I get some articles from the newspapers. I bring it to my class and ask my students to read it out and make some sort of get this. I think on the basis of the comprehension and the precis writing, with the we can give them ample, I think, study. Their speed is also increased, Actually, I'm working as the IELTS trainer with the British Council of Pakistan. Over there, I'm teaching this reading module. So there are some sections, there are some paragraphs we have to give to our students when they learn. They have to grasp or the central idea. So with the help of newspapers and some articles, we can make our students reading skills improved.
Thank you, sir. That question is from Miss Nancy Omandam, our viewer in our Facebook Live. Is there any questions? Again, we have another question from I already read it. Okay, there are. I think it's already clear for our viewers and to our participants.
Thank you, ma'am.
And to show our gratitude to our third speaker this morning session, let me show you our certificate of recognition. This certificate is awarded to Mr. Dr. Muhammad Safdar Pati, our resource speaker, for imparting his valuable insights and participation to this webinar series on teaching English. Her valuable insights and inspirational to this webinar series on teaching English as a second language better normal, sustaining and maintaining an online ESL classroom, conducted by the College of Teacher Education, Graduate Studies, and Applied Research, Extension and Training Services Program through MAED English Teaching as a Second Language, TESL 206 on June 5, 2021 to June 7, 2021 with synchronous and asynchronous activity given this 7th of June 2021 via Zoom. Signed by our faculty member of College of Teacher Education of GIZAR, also Unit Head Extension, Ms. Glenn P. Cortesano, also by our Program Coordinator of GIZAR, Dr. Alberto D. Yazon, also our Associate Dean of College of Teacher Education, Dr. Karen A. Manati. Thank you so much, sir.
So nice of you, ma'am, for this token of love from your side.
Thank you so much. We're done with our three foreign speakers. Miss Crystal, are you here? Okay, so now let us proceed to our fourth topic and fourth speaker. Fourth, thank you so much, Mamia. For our fourth topic, fourth topic entitled Online ESL Teaching Tip for Preschooler, to be delivered by our fourth speaker and first local speaker. She is a licensed professional teacher with a loyalty awardee at Laguna State Polytechnic University last 2014, an active member of Society of English Majors, Laguna State Polytechnic of University since 2014, an active member of Teatro Kislap of Laguna State Polytechnic University since 2010 to 2012. Let us all welcome Ms. Yuzel Bianca E. Wagan.
To our very supportive professor, Ms. Glenn Cortesano, lesson